Thank you all for joining me. It is 1 o'clock, so I am going to go ahead and get started. My name is Georgina Baba, and I am one of the account managers for Attainment Company. Just a few things that I wanted you all to know before I get started. This webinar is the same presentation as the one that I did from last week. So if you were on the one from last week and you don't want to go through this again, I won't be offended. So you can sign off. If you want to stay because you like repetition and you want to see it all over again, you are welcome to do that as well. We love having you. Also, we are going to record this webinar as well. And my wonderful partner in crime, Renee Zelt, is going to be monitoring our Zoom group chat down below if you have any questions. So we will be sure to answer them at specific times during the PowerPoint or at the end. We wanted to start off by saying thank you. During these uncertain times that are changing every single day, you guys have all come together to do what is in the best interest of students. So just know that we will get through all of this and we will get through these tough times and we'll be better at it at the end. And we will be Zoom masters, that is for sure. I found this cute meme about Zoom meetings and I wanted to share it with you guys. I personally think that it is accurate. Well, at least for me it is. With audio on only, that is probably what I look like. And of course with video, we all look so prim and proper and are all made up. So I just thought that was funny and I just wanted to share that with you guys. So our goal today is to explore PowerPoint and the wonderful tools that you can use to develop lessons that are simple to create, engaging, and also fun for your students. And we'll focus on how to embed effective strategies while making our lessons fun through PowerPoint. Our agenda for today is we are going to go through and look at what animations are. We are then going to look at transitions, effective strategies, and then at the end, we're going to go through step-by-step directions just to show you how to do some of these so that you can go back and do it yourselves. So we will start off with animations. I'm going to first show you where to go for animations in PowerPoint. When you have your PowerPoint presentation opened, you will notice on the top that it has several options for you to choose from. It starts with the word File, Home, Insert, Design, Transition, Animations, and so on. So in order to access the animations, you'll want to click on the word titled Animation. Once you do that, it will take you here. You will notice that there is a small arrow at the bottom right-hand side of the animations option. And if you click on that, it will take you to even more animations. So you can see here that you have many different types of animations. You'll notice there are entrance animations, there are emphasis effects, there are exit effects, and then motion paths. And I will go over each of these in the upcoming slides. You will also see options for even more animations at the bottom left-hand side. So you can click on that and it will open up more animations. So entrance animations are used for an object or word that you want to enter the slide, like this. The icons for this type of animation are colored green. If you use this type of animation for an object, it will enter the slide according to your timing preference or with the click of a mouse. So it just depends on how you set it. Exit animations are used for an object or word that will exit your slide, like this. The icons for this type of animation are colored red. The object that you've added to the animation will exit the slide according to your time frame preference or again with the click of the mouse, so whichever you choose. There are also some other types of animations. You have your emphasis animations and your motion path animations. For emphasis animations, they are used for an object or word in order to bring attention to it, like this. The icons for this kind of animation are colored yellow, and the object won't enter or exit the slide, but it will emphasize and draw attention to that object or word that you are wanting. With motion path animations, they are used for an object or word that will allow you to move it on your slide, like this. This type of animation will allow you to move an object from one spot to another, and you can specify or draw the path that you want the object to take. So this is a pretty neat one that you can play with. So now I'm going to talk to you about transitions. Again, when you open up your PowerPoint presentation, you will notice that it has the same options such as the File, Home, Insert, Design, Transitions, Animations, and so on. In order to access transitions, you'll click on the word titled Transitions. Once you do that, it will take you here. You'll notice again that there's a small arrow at the bottom right-hand side of the transition options. Again, if you click on that, it will take you to even more transitions. And you can see that there are so many different types of transitions. There are subtle transitions, exciting transitions, and also dynamic transitions. I want to just kind of tell you to keep in mind your students. Some of these transitions can have a negative effect on your students. So just make sure that when you're adding these transitions, especially with some of like the glitter and the origami or the dissolving, that you just keep in mind your students and their specific needs. We want to make sure that we're not overstimulating them and just keeping in mind their health aspects when you are adding different types of transitions to your PowerPoints. For me, a simple fade or wipe transition might be just enough. And also when you're working on reading text, there's a really cool curl transition that looks as though you're turning the page. And again, just using little transitions are just enough to make your lesson engaging. Here is an example of a transition. We use the page curl transition for this one. And once we finish reading, the image will transition onto the next slide or story page by using the page curl option, and it makes it look realistic as though you were turning the page with your student. So just adding that simple transition is going to make it look like this, and it turns the page. So that is a little bit on transitions. Now we're going to talk about some of the effective strategies that you can embed within your teaching. So animations are great and can really make learning fun, but we can also incorporate those effective strategies into our delivery with this new distance learning model. So you can create slides that focus on 0-second time delay, 5-second time delay, model lead test, or some people know it as I do, we do, you do. You can also work on highlighting choices, highlighting text while reading, and then providing students with visual cues. So here's an example of 0-second time delay. Our first vocabulary word is earth materials. Point to earth materials. Great job pointing to earth materials. Earth materials are rocks, soil, water, minerals, and air. So that was easy, right? And I'll show you how to do that one later on. But just the simple highlighting will allow you to have that 0-second time delay when working on repeating vocabulary words or introducing vocabulary words. Here's an example of 5-second time delay. Point to nature. This is nature. Nature is anything that has not been made by man. So I'm sure you guys noticed, or maybe you didn't because we're all digital here, but all I did with this one is I just counted to 5 in my head before I clicked my mouse, and it then highlighted the image of nature. That's it. And there's your 5-second time delay. So after I teach you how to do the 0-second time delay, you'll be able to incorporate what you've learned and also be able to create your 5-second time delay. Here's an example of a model lead test. So this example is specific for the modeling part. So today we are going to practice counting to 20. I'm going to go first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I did a great job counting to 20, didn't I? So this is our model, and all I did here was I clicked my mouse and it just started flowing. So the next slide can be the same exact thing, and now all you're simply doing is asking the student to help count with you. So let's count to 20 together. I'm not going to make you do this, but you can see that you and the student can count to 20 together by clicking the mouse, and it will just continue to go from there. So this is a great option to do for your model lead test with rote counting. And it could also be just a simple math warm-up that you do as well. And then your last slide is going to be the test slide where you're asking the student to count. And while the student's counting, you may have a data collection sheet that you're marking off the numbers that they're getting right. The parent might also record that the student is counting. So a lot of different ways that you can use this, but the student would then count to 20, and that is your test portion of the model lead test. Another effective strategy that you can use is giving students options and emphasizing or stating each option that they are being provided. So for this example, we emphasized and highlighted the visual representation for yes and no. So for this one, we're simply asking the question, do rocks have names? What is your answer? Yes or no? and then the student can respond with yes or no. But you can see that there was that emphasis effect where the highlighted boxes grew and then shrunk again. And that emphasized the yes and the no options that were provided to your student. Another wonderful tool is highlighting text while reading so that your student knows exactly where you are when you're reading, and it keeps them engaged with the actual lesson. So you can do highlighting one of two ways. This way shows a highlighted box appear in the text as it's being read, and it disappears as the reading moves on to the next line. The highlighting is advanced with the click of a mouse. And so you can go as fast or as slow as you want, and you advance it by clicking on the mouse. Another way to do highlighting is to create a transparent box that appears to be going along with you while you're actually reading the text. If you notice, the highlighted line is going, and then it stops right at the end of the sentence. I'm going to show you how to do this when we go through our step-by-step. Lastly, you can use animations to provide visual cues to keep learning fun and engaging. So this was a really neat one that my coworker Renee made. And a lot of these samples actually she made, but it's awesome because it provides that visual cue. So you're telling your students, you're asking your students, what is the name of this rock? And so if the student is having trouble, you can certainly start revealing some of the letters below. So let's see if you can guess the name of the rock before all of the letters appear. Again, this just makes it fun and engaging. And then right at the end, did you know the answer? If you said boulder, great job, you are correct. Just some fun ways to keep learning engaging. All right, so I think that was enough as far as giving you guys some visuals. We're gonna go ahead and go through step-by-step directions for 0-second time delay. If you would like, at the end of this presentation, I'm going to give you contact information for your account managers. And if you want these step-by-step directions via PDF file, you can certainly reach out to them and they can send it to you. So please don't be overwhelmed. I will try to go slowly just so you guys can see it well, but know that you can get a copy of the PDF that will take you step by step in how to do all this. And I did receive feedback that they do work. So that's a great thing, right? All right, so step-by-step direction for 0-second time delay. The first thing you want to do is you want to add an image. So in order to add an image, you can do it one of two ways. You can insert the image by going to the Insert tab like this. And then once you do that, you can choose the type of image that you want to insert. So you can do a picture, an online picture, a screenshot, or a picture from your photo album on your computer. However, you can also copy and just paste an image onto your PowerPoint slide. I'm going to show you that way. So I have already chosen an image and I'm going to paste it directly onto my slide like this. So the next step for this is to add the highlighting around the image. Once you paste the image, you will go to the word Insert at the top, and you will select Shapes. And when you select Shapes, a drop-down box will appear showing you all the different shapes you can choose from. You will choose whatever shape you want for the highlighting around your image. If your image is a circle, you can choose the circle shape. For mine, I'm going to just use the rectangular shape, which is right here. Next, I'm going to drag my mouse to draw the shape desired around my image. What we are going to do here is different than adding a picture border. So I know some of you might be thinking, well, can't you just add a border? Well, the effect that we're wanting requires a layer that we need to do, and that's why we are adding the shape. So once you drag it, it's going to look like this. But obviously you can see that it covers the image behind it. So I will want to make this shape transparent so that I'm able to frame the image that I had added below it. So in order to do that, you are going to go up to the format options, and you are going to select the drop down for shape fill like this. Once you click on it, you'll go down to the option that says no fill. Once you do that, you will see that you'll have the outline that you want. However, I really want my outline to be a different color. So in order to do that, you'll go back to the format option, but this time you will choose shape outline. And when you do the shape outline, you can then choose whatever color you want. So I'm going to go ahead and choose orange. And then once you do that, you'll notice that it went ahead and changed the outline shape to orange. But I know what you're thinking. Well, it's not thick enough. I need it to be thicker because I really want my students to be able to see where it's highlighting. So you'll go back to shape outline, but this time you're going to choose weight. And from there, you'll get a drop down and you'll want to choose the thickness for your line. So for this one, I chose the 6-point thickness, and you can see just by doing that, it then adds the thicker line around my image. All right, so now I want to add my animation to show when to highlight the image for that 0-second time delay. You'll want to select the highlight shape that you've just drawn. So you'll know that it's selected by seeing all the little circles that should appear around the highlighted image, around the highlighting. So from there, now you're going to go to your animations tab. And then you'll choose the animation that you want. But for this purpose, I'm going to choose the fade option, and it's going to come in when I click on my mouse. So you'll know that it worked, that your animation worked, because you'll notice that there's a number on the left-hand side of the highlighting. If you click on the animation pane on the right, it will open up the animation pane for you. So this is where you can control how and when your image will appear, show emphasis, disappear, or whether or not you have your motion path on it. You will notice that there is a little mouse next to the animation. That little mouse tells you that this image will appear when you click the mouse. So now, once you go to presentation mode at the bottom of your PowerPoint slide, you'll be able to see your animation with 0-second time delay. So today we are going to look at our vocabulary word, earth materials. This is the word earth materials. Touch earth materials. There you go. You have now created your first slide using 0-second time delay. That was pretty easy. And once you do it over and over again, you'll get the hang of it and you won't even need the step-by-step directions. One thing I do want to tell you, just a quick tip, is you can use all these steps that we just went through to create the 5-second time delay as well. You can add more images as distractors, but all you have to do is then wait the 5 seconds before highlighting the image, as was previously shown earlier in the PowerPoint. So I hope that was good for you. So that's our 0-second time delay. Next, I'm going to show you the step-by-step directions for highlighting choices. So first, we are going to insert 3 images. Remember, you can insert images one of 2 ways. You can go to the Insert tab and then choose the image that you want by clicking up here. Remember, it can be a picture, an online picture, screenshot, photo from your photo album, or like I said previously, you can simply just copy and paste it onto your slide like this. You don't have to do 3 choices, but for the sake of this, I'm showing you 3 options here. You can do 1 like we did previously, but this kind of just shows you just a different option when you're working with your students and you're asking them to select an answer choice from a choice of 3. All right, so once I add my images, I want to go into my emphasis shapes because I want my images to have some emphasis when I'm talking to my students about their different answer choices. So I want my choices to teeter when I go over each of them. So you'll remember you'll want to go to animations, and then from there you'll choose the emphasis that you want. Remember, emphasis, they don't leave the page, they stay on there and they just do whatever you ask them to do to emphasize that specific word or object or picture that you're inserting onto your slide. For this, again, I'm going to have my image teeter back and forth when I'm providing my students with choices, and you'll repeat the step for each image and using the same emphasis. So again, repetition is key. So if you say, well, you already told us how to do that, Georgina, just know that for me, I learn better when things are repeated. And for you, you may also learn better when things are repeated. So I know that it worked, or my animation worked, because again, I can see that there is a number on the side of each image. And also, if I click on the animation pane, I will see that my animations are emphasis animations because they are in yellow. And then also I can see that my emphasis animations are going to work when I click on my mouse. All right, so my question to my students is going to be this: which shape has 3 equal sides? So now what I want to do is I want to draw a shape around my correct answer, which is going to be the triangle. So I'm going to go to the Insert tab and select Shapes. And then I'm going to choose the shape I want. This time I'm going to choose the triangle. And I'm going to show you a cool effect that you can add to this one. So once I've chosen triangle, you can see that, again, I'm going to drag the shape to cover the image below it, and it's going to look like this. So I do not want my shape filled in. I want it to be transparent. So we're going to repeat the steps that we did earlier to make this shape transparent. Again, we're going to go up to our format options and choose Shape Fill. From Shape Fill, we are going to go down to the option that says No Fill. And then I want to change my color of my shape outline. You don't have to, but if you want to, you can. You go and to your shape outline and you choose the color that you want. So for this one, instead of pink, I'm going to choose red just because it pops out a little bit more. Once I do that, again, my line was very thin, so I'm going to go and I'm going back to my shape outline. And then I'm going down to the weight option. And finally, I'm going to choose the thickness that I want around my shape. Once I do that, you can see that my outline has now become thicker. All right, so now the cool part. So we're going to add our animation. For this one, I want to add an animation to my triangle that's going to highlight it once the student chooses the correct answer. So for this animation, I'm going to the animations tab up at the top, and I'm going to choose the wheel option. So once I do that, again, you will see that it worked because there's a number, and that tells me that I've added an additional animation, that I've added an animation to this. All right, so that is it for that one. And now I'm done and ready to show you just how this works. So you would say to your student, which shape has 3 equal sides? A square, a circle, or a triangle? Did you say triangle? Great job. You are right. A triangle has 3 sides. And you can see that when they chose triangle, it outlined my triangle shape. So again, just another fun way where you can make learning engaging for your students, and also, hint, hint, for the parents that are having to do it with their students, with their child. All right. The next thing that we are going to work on is highlighting text while reading. I hope I'm not going too fast for you, but I want to make sure that I'm honoring your time for this presentation. All right. So with this, again, you'll want to insert the image or text that you are wanting to highlight while reading. I've inserted an image and text that I'm going to highlight. So now, in order to do this, you will go back up to the insert at the top of the page, and you will select shape. So for this one, again, you'll get the drop-down menu, but for this one, you are going to choose the rectangular shape. So I will then draw the shape to cover the first sentence, and I'm going to stop at the exclamation mark. it's going to look like that once you drag it all the way across. But again, I want to make this transparent because it's supposed to be highlighting. So I'm going to walk you through all of those steps as well as changing the color to this because we don't want it to be pink. I want mine to be yellow. So I'm just going to show you how to do that. So you're going to go back up to your shape fill options and you're going to click on the color yellow. When you click on that, you will see that it changed the color of the fill to yellow for this shape. I don't want the outline to be pink. I want it to be yellow. So I'm going to go back up to my format options, and this time I'm going to go back to shape outline. And when I go to shape outline, I'm going to choose yellow as my color. And then when I go down here, you can see that there is no longer an outline around my shape. It is now a solid yellow box, and this is exactly what I need. So now I'm going to need to make my yellow box transparent. So I'm going to select the yellow box, and I select it just by clicking on it. And then I'm going to right-click my mouse. And when I do that, a menu will appear. So I'm going to right-click my mouse, and then a menu is going to appear. And when I do that, I'll then select Format Shape. So when I select Format Shape, you're going to see that a box is going to appear on the right. So then I want to make sure I select the word fill. And when I do that, I'm going to come down here to transparency, and I'm going to adjust the transparency to the level that I want. For this one, I did it at 64%, and you can see just how it made it. If you want it to be even more transparent, you would increase the transparency value, and it'll make it more transparent. So now I'm going to add my animation to the highlighted yellow box by clicking on the yellow box. And then I'm going to go up to the animation tab and click the animation for wipe. So this is what is going to give you that highlighting effect. When I choose that, I need to make sure that it is going to wipe in the right direction. I know that sounds funny, but we need to make sure that it's going from left to right, that it's fading from left to right. So I'm going to click on the effect option right here, and then I'm going to choose from left. So this will make sure that my fade will appear from left to right. I hope I made you guys chuckle a little bit with that. All right, so now that I have that done, I'm going to click on the highlighted box, and then I'm going to right-click on my mouse, and I will get my menu option. So I'm going to click on my box, right-click on my mouse, and I'm going to get my menu option. And from here, I am going to choose to copy this animation that I've just created. This will make the next steps easier so that you don't have to repeat the same exact steps that were done before this to this box. So when you click on copy, you can then go and paste the different highlighting for each sentence. So that just, again, it's going to make it so much easier. It's going to add all the animations for you. It's already done. And then that way you're just copying and pasting to all the different lines to have your highlighting completed. All right. So hopefully that relieved some of the anxiety for some of you. So now we will see that by doing that, I'm going to show you just one more thing. With our animations tab, when we go to animations and we click on our animation pane, you are going to see that your options should be highlighted. However, if they're not highlighted, you want to highlight them just to make this next step easier. So to do that, you can simply start by selecting the top selection, which would be the number 2, and then you would hit Shift, the Shift key, you would hold it down, and then come and select the number 9. So you're selecting 2 to 9, and it's going to highlight all of them for you. So now once you've highlighted them all, you are going to use the down arrow and you are going to choose the option for Start on Click. So Start on Click is going to give you that freedom to have it begin when you click your mouse. This will make it more natural when you're having to pause at the end of each sentence. Now I want to change how quickly it fades. So I want to highlight the word slowly. So I'm going to, again, click on the down arrow. And this time I want to choose timing. So timing is going to bring up this box. And you can choose how fast or how slow you want it to read. For this, I chose 3 seconds. You may want to read it a little bit faster once you see how slow the 3 seconds is. But again, this is where you would adjust the timing. You would hit OK, and then your reading or your article or your text is now ready. So we're going to see how this works. So I'm going to use my mouse and I'm going to click, and it should start highlighting my text. Welcome to the Elm Street Speedway. This is a place that's built for speed. Everything moves fast. Get in line to buy a ticket. My ticket costs $3. Watch me count my money. I wasn't clicking on it. Watch me count my money. So you can see maybe for you that was too slow. You can certainly make it go faster, but whatever works for you is how you can make this text highlighting work. I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and I hope that it has provided you with some fun ways to make your distance learning lessons engaging. There's so much more to PowerPoint, and the fun that you can have with it is endless. Before I let you go, I also wanted to share with you our website and tell you about all the wonderful things that Attainment Company is doing during this time. If you go to our website at attainmentcompany.com, you will see a red bar going across our webpage. If you click on the orange button that says 10 Simple Solutions for Distance Learning, it will take you to this page right here. You can see that there are more things on here that we've done. I want to point out just a few of them for you. The first one is our Lite apps. If you go to the App Store and type in Attainment Lite, several different apps will pop up. These are trials, but they will give you access to some really great stuff. So make sure you do that. Also, if you haven't signed up already, we have our web-based subscriptions that we are currently providing at no cost. So currently there are 5 of our research-based ELA software titles, plus Computers at Work and Show Me Math. And these can be accessed free until June 30th. All you have to do is simply create an account, add your students, and then they have access to that interactive tool. They can access it via home computer, tablet, Android. So it's available in many different platforms. Also, we are providing some free virtual lessons. So if you're looking for some extra ways to enhance your digital learning lessons for your students, let us know. We have some that we've created, and all you have to do is just reach out to us and ask, and we will provide them to you. Our next one is our webinars. Keep checking back on our show webinar times as we update them weekly to show what other offerings we are going to be doing. Our wonderful transition guru, Janet, has been having some wonderful transition webinars throughout the week. So just keep checking back so you can see what we're offering for next week. Again, thank you. Thank you for all that you're doing to teach and support students. We hope that some of these things help you during this time. If you need a certificate of completion, please email info@attainmentcompany.com. Please make sure to include the following: your full name. I put mine in there as an example, so don't send my name. The name of the webinar, Keeping Students Engaged with Distance Learning, and the date of the webinar, so we can make sure to adjust the date on your certificate. Here are our wonderful Attainment Company account managers. If you guys have any questions regarding curriculum, please reach out to them. If there's anything that I've shared with you that you have questions about, please reach out to them. If you don't see your state on here, simply email info@attainmentcompany.com with your question, and one of the account managers will get back to you. Again, thank you for joining me today, and thank you for all that you are doing to support students during this time. I hope you have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you.